So, good evening to all. So, we are resuming our IACHE Alumni GMeet series after about 10 day or a week gap moving to online CAS. Now, this is the 12th Alumni GMeet series, and we have today with us Vidya Shankar from the 2013 batch. Very not only philosophical title that he has given, but indeed a lot of learnings from his life experience one can have if you see through this presentation or this GMeet series. I would just want to tell one thing about Shankar, apart from his biography, which is already shared as part of the invitation, that if you have a passion to be in chemical engineering, and if you have a right mindset and attitude of learning, you can beat all the odds and still be able to make a clear mark in your core area. If you want to have one example of that, then that is Vidya Shankar from the 2013 batch. I'm very happy, Vidya Shankar, that you have come forward to share your journey, philosophical journey, also, as you put it, to the present students. And I hope that you will inspire them to be having core. And to the audience, he had been in his core from an industry which is in very, very tough place to live itself, which is in Tutukudi. From there, he traveled, and now he's in Singapore, all through without yielding to any peer pressures, despite whatever be the reasons. And that's Vidya Shankar. Thank you, Vidya Shankar, and you can continue.
Hi, sir. Hi, I'm Vidya Shankar. Hope you all have read my bio. And let me tell you what I'm going to do in this talk. I think for next half an hour, I'll be telling my experience regarding throughout my experience, as well as whatever I have experienced in my industry life and how I have changed from them from the start till now. And I'll also give one example where I had to act very quick. Maybe that could give you inspiration for you how important is a role of chemical engineering for a process engineer in the industry. Okay, and then we will have questionnaire so that we can whatever you have questions, I think I to maximum extent possible I will try to reply. Okay, so once after, as you know, usual, like I'm a normal what do you say, I'm a average studying person, but only thing is I always believe in positivity in whatever I do. Whenever I think certain things I'm not able to do, then I think my heart is not with that. So I always believe that as like a normal normal Sastra student, I also got a opportunity. I also got a campus interview, and I got selected in Accenture and IBM. But still, there was something that was itching me constantly, that I am studying chemical engineering, how I'm going to go into the IT, and how I'm going to survive there. Because I know I'm not good at programming. Because that even Naren sir knows maybe in the cache how I would have performed. So that was keeping me pinching throughout. Then I thought, okay, let's give it a try. So I gave nearly 6 months. I had to wait. After completing my graduation, I waited for 6 months to get an opportunity in an industry, and possibly I got a call from DCW where I applied for, and initially they inducted me as a chemical engineering trainee for the new project, that is synthetic inoxide pigment project. It was a new project which includes pre-commissioning activities, post-commissioning activities, and startup of that is running off plant. That was the where I started my career. And you know, for a chemical engineer, to get to get experience of pre-commissioning is commissioning is very valuable, because in industry when you see things which is happening from the start to run, you'll understand what is the pain of an engineer. Not even chemical engineer, any engineer, mechanical engineer, civil engineer, how every engineer works to bring it into one unified plant. And that was I'm really thankful, as well as very what we say, very grateful that I got such opportunities. So once I was inducted into, I joined Darangdara Chemical Works in the year 2013, December 2nd, I remember. And initially, though I was inducted in the SAOP project, first I was given chance to work in pilot plant. you all know that there will be before making any product, there will be the product will run in pilot plant for so long, and there will be many iterations doing in order to improve the quality and versus quantity and giving correct desired result. So initially they kept me in the pilot plant, and initially I thought, hey, I have been taken as uh, taken to work in this synthetic iron oxide pigment project. But before that, I am placed in pilot plant. I worked for 1 month, 2 months, and slowly I started to gain what are the activities are going on, how everything is does. First I thought a chemical engineer work is just to look at the plant, but my scenario was totally wrong. I need to first, when you go, when you they will ask you to first trace the line, and then understand step by step process how it is done. And sometimes I used to work in lab also previously. Then it was like total collective experience. And VP, the vice president of the projects, he used to come in pilot plant every time when I was there. He used to keep on teaching me things. I always used to ask, sir, you have taken me for the pre-commissioning and post-commissioning pre-commissioning activities for the new project. There many people are there, why you are not sending to me? No, you work here, you will realize he was saying constantly. But still something as what I am not getting the correct opportunity, I thought. But later on, after 6 months, when everything was in pre-commissioning stage, tanks, everything commissioned, reactors, everything, they were in pre-commissioning stage. That time he allowed me to go from pilot plant to there. And pilot plant, and you usually we know, before startup of plant, first afresh, it is very difficult to us, because you need to get unified, and it was really total new experience. Because that time you won't be knowing what is DCS, how to operate, how to do everything, like how to contact each other, how to coordinate with each department, how to work in shifts, and how to maintain logs. There are innumerable things, and each thing has a definite scope for it. And I realized through one of my experience. And in during pre-commissioning stage, it was very tough task for us, as well as for the whole company, because it was very, because it took so time for so many years to make it happen. So company was looking very eagerly for it. And initially when we went there, first we need to prepare raw material, everything. In that, there was one experience which I will share with you. That is, in my during my shift, that is after 6 months and nearly 1 year, I think. After 1 year, maybe once the everything is ready, raw material is ready, one day, while everything was shut, we didn't carry out react process that day, that is a reaction that day. So what we were doing is we were just transferring our leach liquor is the raw material which is used for production of iron oxide. So it contains mainly of ferric chloride and HCl in very small, HCl in very small percentage. So we want ferrous chloride as a raw material. So in order to get ferrous chloride, we will what we do is, there is a reactor called iron reactor, in which we will dump the old scrap iron in that, and we will charge this ferric chloride with the HCl with. Due to reaction, it will turn into ferrous chloride, and whatever the hydrogen ions which are present in that, it will mix with air, and from that scrubber will suck it, and it will dilute in water, and it will send in vapor. This is what happens in this. So what happened one day, I think the day I finished B shift, that is 2 to 10, and I gave my next person who is taking charge, I gave him the charge regarding what are the activities we need to do. And again I had to come at the morning 6 o'clock, after by finishing 10:30, again you need to come back at 6 8, such was as if, like 2 days morning shift, 2 days afternoon shift, 2 days night shift. It would be the cycle of an every engineer working in the industry. And somewhere there will be 6 days shift, every week it will be changing like this. So I was in such kind of shift. I gave him charge everything what to do, and what are the activities I have done, everything I have given charge. And next time, from the morning, I had to come. When I was coming, the thing is, from the start of plant to my plant, that is synthetic iron oxide pigment, it was nearly 1 or 2 kilometers away. So a car will be doing ferry for us. It will ferry us from the gate to the point. So what happened is, normally I told him to get the leach liquor and charge into the reactor. He was doing the thing, but the thing is, usually we have scrubbing fan which will send vapors. But while coming from the car, that is from the gate to I was observing the vapor, and I feel something fishy in this one, because usually the vapors won't be so dense. Based on our operating experience, I thought Then I told my subordinates that, sir, as soon as you get charged, go and check the reactor at the top. Is there any problem or something? Something I told them. And once we went into the plant, I got down into my control room, and they went to their site, and they once I gave charge, I took charge. I sent him out, and the person who was witnessing there, he immediately called me, sir, there is an emergency fire here. It is going to get very critical. So since the plant was not fully functional, I asked my next DCS operator to take charge, and I immediately went to there. I immediately phoned my senior GM, everyone, that, sir, this is happening. Please come. I'm trying to do whatever this is. But you will not believe one thing that I did that saved my reputation, as well as the reactors to get burst into the flame. Thing is, during when I was working in pilot plant, there was a small iron reactor. Same process, like charging this liquor into a reactor containing of iron scraps. During that time, there was a small fire. That time, my operator, where he was trying to douse the flame, but it was not getting doused. So what he did is simply open the drain of the liquid, so that the liquid in the reactor gets drained. So there will be no reaction, and the fire will contain. So this was one small thing that too in night shift he did it. That was always in my mind. The day when the thing again, such scenario happened in a large volume. That is, you may think it is 283 kl, such big reactor it is. So when it was happening, immediately first thing that came into mind is the experience that I got in pilot plant. Then I realized what my VP said, that you will understand whatever happened before, you will have to use it in this one. And that really gave me a great hand in that. I immediately asked my subordinates to on the sprinkler, and as soon as I started to drain the leach liquor present inside the liquor. So the drains, everything got full, but the fire came into control by within 1 or 2 hours. By the time fire engine, everything came and everything. But one thing is, my senior GM, as soon as he came, he asked me, why you open drain liquid? Then I explained him, sir, this was the thing which happened when I was in pilot plant, and based on that experience, I have done this. So when then he was not convinced. Then my general manager, everyone came, and they said what you did was the right thing. If you have not did that thing, the entire reactor would have burst into the flame, and it would have been great loss for the whole project there. And one more thing was the alarm. That is, usually we have temperature readings, everything in the DCS connected, right? The alarm came only after I went, only I started, I informed. After that, 20 minutes after that only, the alarm came. So we were quite proactive for that approach. So finally, that was a very critical experience for me, and it really turned me from an amateur, and it also gave me every importance that how responsible we should be in an industry, and that really changed the face of me. And after working stabilizing, thereafter everything passed, everything we made normal, and products we started to take. Once after gaining experience nearly 2.5 years, then I got opportunity to work in Birla Carbon Gumdipundi. And in Birla Carbon Gumdipundi also, once I got selected and I joined there. It is from nearly 50 kilometers from Chennai. So when I went, that time there was a vertical jumbo reactor. That is, I will say what is a Birla Carbon doing. It is a plant which produces carbon black, which is a main raw material for making tire. That is a raw material which gives high strength and solidity for the tires to come into shape. Without this, your tires won't run more than 100 kilometers. So it is the main ingredient that acts as binder. So that was the plant which I was going to work for. Initially, there was a reactor to be commissioned. So based on my previous experience, my boss who was recruited me, he told me you be in these commissioning activities, and that really changed my face. I got interaction with all people who are working in there, and it really gave me good name, because previously I had experience that I was trying to use in the commissioning experience, how to commission, what are the things continuously following for 1 month. It was a very good opportunity. And beyond that, in Aditya Birla, I had very good experience. Other than core also, they used to keep you growing. There will be many sessions like talking in meetings. They will have many interaction sessions like talks like this, and there will be many outside competitions also, where they will train each and every person to go and experience themselves. And since due to I never fail to use that opportunity. Whenever there is an opportunity, I come friend that I will do it, sir. My boss also was very happy, since I was representing our process department every time. So I had a good name there. And every time in a meeting or everything, whenever there is a big someone coming for a visit or something, they will ask me to come and preside, and they will ask me to do each and everything beyond being an engineer also. So it gave me multifaceted, and from there I understand that how an industry gets a person. Today's industry doesn't want a person who is just a chemical engineer. He must be a chemical engineer and he must be an all-rounder too. That is what an industry requires. Because that's why last time when we spoke, I think I told you need to come outside, you need to speak more, and you need to also hear more also. That's what help you from to change from amateur to a professional. And it was a great experience in Billa Carbon, and they have given ample of opportunities to develop my skills. They are one of the skills that I developed is Six Sigma skills, and that I got that is black belt. I got black belt in the Six Sigma skills, and that were one of the advantages due to that is I was also ready willing to work, and those opportunities are not given during office time. That is, you can work after that, whatever that you have to follow. That means you have to take your own time beyond your office working hours, so that you need to excel yourself to mold you into a good professional. So always learn to seize the opportunities which you get. Don't think I need to be in this office limit. Sometimes you might lose your free time or your own time, but if you think if it is good for you, then it will definitely make you help to stand somewhere in a good position. Always make a note of it. And then I worked for nearly 3.5 years. And since from the start of my career, I always had interest in learning design engineering. Right, I wanted to do what is front end, what is detail engineering, what is front end engineering. I wanted to go regarding projects, what and all. And moreover, the experience that I had in my DCW and this one, it still made me pinch. Okay, I should learn different. So then I applied for Rotary Engineering Private Limited in Singapore, and I'm here since last 8 months. I came here 2019 August. September 2 I joined here again, and from then now I'm learning in designing engineering field, and it is quite helpful now because previously I had so many commissioning experience. Now I'm able to understand what are the parameters you need to check before starting, and what for a project to happen, what are the front engineering, what are the detail engineering, the works that are done before doing any project also. So it is really helpful, and these experience have molded me into a great chemical engineer. I think now I can go through questions. I think if you hello, we
Yeah,
juniors are
they yeah.
yeah. Anna, we juniors are taking Six Sigma training, but we are not sure what exactly it is. If you can give info, is there any specific need to learn it? See, Six Sigma skills is more about it is a skill. Maybe how you will able to relate it is you will have a data, raw data, because what we are studying is mainly of once you are into industry or any skill, you will have large number of data, but you must learn to know how you have to make use of the data to get some output and the desired efficiency. If suppose I want to find the efficiency of certain equipment or something, I need to keep on take readings, and there are many Six Sigma tools using which you can find out the efficiencies. You can know how many iteration, what are the different you can compare with many equipments, how what is the performance, and there are many dimensions to it. The Six Sigma skill will give you more. It is like a tool that can help you to process a raw data into a needed information. Then next, could you also elaborate about the belts? See, as far as I know, there is yellow belt, black belt, and all. It differs upon the stages by which you do. But it is like you can either do on your own in many institutions, or sometimes certain industries, they fund, they help you in getting trained.
Okay.
Mm.
So Vidya Shankar, I just have one question.
Yes, sir.
So which could be also helpful to all these juniors. So how to search for jobs? Because we might not get that amount of core openings probably in college.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there are many reasons for that. Uh, but the point is how to go out and then have the mindset to look for jobs. So maybe that mindset also you can share how to train one mindset, and also on like probably how to network
Okay.
and then get it.
Maybe you gave me a good opportunity, sir. I think Naren sir previously, when I was in college, he always used to emphasize the word network, because that network, the word that itself gives a lot of meaning to each and everyone. You must learn to collaborate with, like in industries, you will learn to have you learn to interact with different peoples of different perspectives, different disciplines, or so you will have greater knowledge. And for a fresher point of view, how to get a job is that first you need to brush up your skills. That is one of the, any fresher, they will just first look upon their basic skills of engineering. If you're strong enough in it, and if you are able to give proper answer, at least in your own way, they will try. And there are many industries that are providing opportunities for freshers. And you can also say, since industries like chemical industries, those and all, people will stay for long. It is not such because it gives more satisfaction than what you are. So usually the opportunities are very less when in the stage of freshers, because they will always try to have experienced people, so that it will be easy for them to go take the process and mold them into a greater way. But one thing that you must always emphasize is, try to be precise in your resumes, as well as don't just tell everything in the resume. Just be to the point and tell truth. If you know, be to the point, and don't just beat around the bush. That is the one thing that you need to always remember. And
Yeah, you can take the questions from the chat.
okay, okay. Okay, what are the advantages of knowing one more than one language in professional life? This is a quite good.
No, there is a no. There is
Yeah.
one question before that.
Oh, sorry. What are the prospects in EPC for freshers? Yeah, in EPCs, I think there was one of my friend who worked as an trainee, and then she got selected. But as far as I know, since I have come into EPC after getting the experience in industry, I don't know how what are the prospects in EPC. But it depends mainly upon the projects which they are taking, because usually they will have like work man hours. Every project will have man hours based on which they work. If the manuals are tight, they will try to recruit more people having experience in order to do the work in more easier way. So, and there are also many large scale EPCs which give opportunities. But the thing is, you need to strike at the right time. That is what is
Uh,
important.
just to add, Vidya Shankar, there are also second years and third years. They might not know what is EPC is. So, can you
Okay.
please tell what is EPC and what are typical other verticals in a process industry?
Yeah, okay. EPC is nothing but it is a full form of EPC is an abbreviated form of engineering, procurement, and commissioning. It is nothing but suppose if I want to build a plant, then what I will do is I will provide a tender, and many EPC contractors, they will bid on this, and the person who is going to build, he will give the entire details. What are the need I need to construct a plant? What are the requirements of his from piping scope, civil scope, pumps, mechanical scope, everything it will be mentioned. And based on that, the EPC contractor, he will check the entire tender, and he will give reply like what and all we will provide based upon the requirement. He will prepare a draft, and they will bid. There will be many EPC contractors who will bid at the time when it to be supposed. That is, there will be a deadline for it to submitting their proposals, and based on different EPCs, this one their experience, as well as the code that gives the dimension who is going to take the project, and how far you are clear in this, what their requirement is, and how far you are able to deliver, what are the correct scope. Then it will be easy for an EPC to get in project. And what are the advantages of knowing more than one language in professional life? See, knowing more than one language in India is really helpful, because if you see, I'm usually multilingual, because since from my childhood I have been traveling to so many places due to my father's profession. He used to take us everywhere, wherever he went. So I was multilingual, like I know Hindi, Gujarati, and other than this, English, Tamil usually we speak. And these are some languages. Moreover, Hindi, Gujarati, Hindi is literally is national language in our country. And moreover, when you work in the companies which are mainly northern areas, or North Indian based companies, these will give you extra skill, because they will have you will have an environment of multilingual. There will be people who will be speaking in Tamil, who will be speaking in Hindi, And possibly wherever I had, this was one of my one of the greatest plus point for me, because in initially when I was in DCW, all the bosses, they were from North India, and they literally related me everything with that. And it was very easy for me to communicate, because one of the main thing for any person to work in a this one. uh, Abhishek, hello. So any hello.
Vidya Shankar, wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Abhishek, you have to put on mute. Abhishek, uh, so Abhishek,
I think he's not able to hear. I think so. I'll put
ಇಲ್ಲ
on.
mute. Yeah, yeah, he has to put on mute.
Uh,
Acha, yeah, okay. Yeah, you
okay.
can continue. Vidya Shankar.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I was talking about being multilingual, right? So in my primary occupation, that is in DCW, when I joined, my all my bosses were North Indians, and it was very easy for me to communicate between them as well as in operator also. Sometimes they will not be able to tell what it is to the operator, because operators will be mainly Tamil, and what they want, they used to be very colloquial in their own languages. So I was like in bridge, like. Communicating with them, so that was easy. And moreover, in Birla Carbon too, it is mainly North Indian company, North Indian based, and there it was a lot for me. It provided a lot of opportunity moment, because I was very multilingual there. I can even speak to anyone, and being multilingual will always help you at any point of time learn some languages other than what you are. It will definitely help you in every way possible. And at Vidyashankar, learning from operators, you can shed on it. For you told that you learned from operators, so I understand being GET, we need to seek to learn from operators. So shed, yeah, okay, I will definitely shed light on this. See, it doesn't mean that being a chemical engineer or a trainee, you know everything. See, people who are working in field, they will have definitely more experience than what we are. And when you are going into an industry or entering an industry, first you must learn to hear more. That's what make you help to learn more. And you should not see the positions who what they're holding. If you learn to distinguish between them, then you will develop. If you try to seeing that he's inferior than me, he's superior than me, then you will create a mind block within yourself, and you will cease to learn. That's what will happen if you see superiors. And always think, if you know, whatever we know is a drop in ocean. There are many people who have a lot of a lot of practical knowledge that can help you if you hear and if you ask. And okay, then what is the tool used for designing? Which skill would you suggest junior to learn before joining a company? What is the tool? I think, what is the tool? What do you mean?
Software,
Soft.
software.
As of now, the EPC which I am working, it is a small scale. It is a small EPC, and the major software we are using is PipeNet for finding surge analysis. Right now, still I have not been used to it, because now recently only I have joined, so I'm trying to learn it. And there are many more softwares that is required, like HiSys. If you go for more oil engineering field, HiSys Pro, there are many softwares which you can learn that would actually help you to get job easily. Okay, then what are the practical difficulties faced as a process design engineer? How different is your expectation versus reality? Has your perspective undergone a paradigm shift? Okay. See, practical difficulties is for an engineer. Definitely, you must. People working in industry will always have difference, because initially you would be thinking, hey, working in industry will be like great something. It is definitely great, but things there are also many difficulties involved in it. Sometimes you have to come out of your comfort zone. For learning anything, you will definitely have to come out of the comfort zone. That is the law of nature. So there will be many difficulties. There will be some change. There won't be like timeline. Sometimes you have to work beyond what is your office work. Sometimes you need to come at whatever time specified by them to come and work. There will be many inexperience, but each experience will always add an opportunity for you to grow further. And based up, there was not much shift that I should not take, but since I had interest in design engineering, I thought, okay, industries, I have got some good experience in industry, so with it, how I'm going to change that, what made me to shift from industry, working industry, to this design engineering field. And Anna, you said you are a person filled with positivity. How to develop our mind like we should ignore the negativity completely? And also to add on, you rejected the offer of Accenture and IBM. You waited for 6 months. See, one thing we need to believe: if you are strong enough, and if you are very positive about the thing which you want, then you will definitely realize what to take, what not to take. Since one thing that had in my mind is, when I know at the at the final year of my engineering, I definitely know I was not good at programming. But then too, I got opportunities in IBM and Accenture. I was just thinking just one thing: if I would take an IBM or Accenture, and what would be the next phase ahead, how I will be developing. Then I thought, if I go to industry, how I may improve, and if I'm in IT industry, how I may not. Because I know there I'm not, when I'm not good at certain thing, just doing for the sake of money will not allow me to conquer any place. And for every person, it is like great, what to say, great instinct, that you will have a great instinct that will make you to follow what you want. Then I thought, okay, chemical engineering, at least I have read or learned something. If I'm able to bring it in practical, I think I will be very satisfactory, I will be satisfactory enough to do that. So every, and one thing is, when you why I'm saying positivity is, if you have a positive towards, that is, positive energy is something that will magnify when you keep upon it. Because whenever I was in the final year, you know that 6 months of wait was literally very tough for me, because I was not economically sound that time, and taking such decision was really, I don't know whether it will end up in right or wrong. But if you see, so I was not the package offered by Accenture IBM was high, but what I took as an opportunity to work is far less what I got there. But I had only one hope: if I give my hard work as well as my dedication to it, I think I will change my scenario. So that is what is happening now. I think maybe after so much of experience, now I'm in some good position, at least. Okay. I'm sure you'll be proud enough to how you got fixed with steady mindset and didn't waver your mind to go. Can you share some positive thoughts? See, everyone will have different perspective upon different thoughts. If I don't want to infuse any thoughts on you, but I would always request you that whenever you are approaching a thing which you have instinct, or which you have great zeal towards it, try to give all whatever good energy to it, so that it magnifies what you want. Okay, okay, 1 minute. Have you ever considered masters on an option? Is it way? Yeah, I think Naren sir gave me ample of light. He used to always tell me that if you want to study further, make sure it happens before 27 or 28, because once once you give so much gap in between, you'll have to compete with people who are at very younger, and their minds also will be very sharp. This he always used to tell me whenever I would ask him questions, what I should do. Sometimes, though working in industry, sometimes I will also be fed up, like, am I going in the right direction? Sometimes I also used to phone him and ask, sir, I'm literally don't know what to do. Then sometimes he used to throw light on this. And I always, whenever I feel that I have a deadblock, the first one I would go to is an arranger. So he is like one of my positive energy for going ahead whenever I was deadlock at some certain point. Mm. And have you ever considered matter? Okay, that is on an academical framework. It is okay to make mistakes and learn from them. What would be the cost of a mistake? Yeah. See, the cost of mistake in an industry is really pathetic. You know, it will impact the product quality, and it is like a chain reaction. If you do one tampering in one thing, it will multiply every stage it passes. So it will be like the redo work will be more, and moreover, if that output is not traced where you had mistake, then it will definitely impact the company's performance, because we are, since we are at the seller end, when we are selling some product to any customer, the customer will also check from his end. If the testing doesn't match with the standards, then again he will reroute. and he will again resend back. That is actually, it will create a black mark for the company industry, and it will also reduce your credibility of being an engineer to tackle a process with good efficiency. Mm, any tips on working in harsh areas or remote areas for process industry? Yeah, I think this is the right question, sir. Since my first job, DCW Alumni, it was totally remote. And sometimes even for coming near to the Tirunelveli, it took nearly 1 hour for me. And sometimes I feel the opportunities are yes. But yeah, in cities and towns, there are opportunities for learning other than working. If you want to see the opportunities for learning, it is little less. But the only thing, but considering in today's situation, now you get everything online, and there are many ways that you can study, or you can do many courses on through online that can help you to overcome the gap that that you may face in when you are placed in a city, or when you placed in a town like the areas where I had. Hi Anna, I remember asking you about taking decision about choosing between IT and you just said based on passion and learn wherever you go and keep my guess you would be the right person to clarify this. In industry, I am facing age and experience because mostly all are seniors by age and experience. So, what sort of healthy mindset that I should develop as a learning fresher? I would like to hear it from your experience of journal, like how you handled it. See, this is a good question, Gokul. See, in industry, first thing we'll have is there will be people with large experience, and when you go in, when you are stepping into industry like a fresher, it will be the people won't trust you that much, because since you are raw, the talent that we have is literally raw compared to their practical experience. And first thing that you should always think is, you should never think that other person is not intellectual. You should always make a mindset to learn good from even bad persons. And there are no not I mean bad persons, some people will not be reluctant to share their experience. Some people will share, but you need to understand whom to go and to where to get the experience that you need. And always keep your mind free. It doesn't matter, some people are very easy to help you at at some point, but there won't be you can't expect each and every person to help you at all stages. The only thing, when it is like in industry, once in preliminary stages, people will try to help you, but once you are into the work, because everyone have their own work to be done, they can't allocate time for you separately to tell this is happening, that is happening. Only thing is, when you are beyond your working time, you can go and you can ask your doubts. Sometimes you can share your opinion, and there are things when we might be also right, but don't justify that I am right, you are wrong. You should not have that mindset that I am always right. There are chances when others also will have. And when and never compare your theory knowledge with the practical knowledge, because some practical knowledge sometimes it is more valuable than your theory knowledge. Okay. What basic expectation does industry people need from a BTech fresher before he or she getting inside field? See, expectation of industry is, see, first thing they will check is your basic skills. That is basic skills, I mean to say is, how good are you at your basics in your engineering. They will sometimes when people come as join as fresher, people they used to give lot of tasks. Sometimes you should not break it. I mean to say, you must try to take that opportunity, because people initially when you come as new, they will think, okay, this guy is a little bit free, we can give more work to him. But take that as an opportunity and try to work it. It is okay even if you fail, but always try to get the opportunity wherever you get. It is one of the main important thing, that in order to excel, sometimes being a fresher, you have literally low hand because you don't have practical experience. And when you don't have practical experience, you won't be able to see bigger picture of whatever is going on. You will be related only to a small picture what it is going on. So always try to learn. If you are have really a positive mindset that you can take whatever it comes to me, then I think being fresher also, it is not a problem. You will definitely grow much faster than whatever you think. Vidyashankar, what second, third, final year at college can do, should do, or need to do? Uh, First, I would tell is for first I would tell for final years. See, you all know about the present COVID-19 situations. Now you know many of the countries would be mostly putting their money in this healthcare, and literally the openings will be little bit less compared to what it was previous. But there will be definitely opportunity for people who are talented and who are strong in their basics. So always keep your basics very tight and never get demotivated. It is okay. And one of the main thing that you should always take care is you should not compare your performance with any of your friends or any of your persons nearby, because only when you compare your performance with your own previous performance you will improve. If you compare others performance, everyone will have their own performance or own standards to meet. If you try to meet other standards, then you will keep on trying to gauge yourself within, and you will never have a what to say a satisfaction feeling when you chase it. And for
Yeah,
second year, yes sir, please sir.
yeah. For third years and second years.
Yeah, for second and third years, I would say that this is the right time for you to the harness the opportunity, because when we were in second and third, we were literally like groups. I would emphasize on having good network among your people. See, you might be having 40 or 50 people in a class. Try to mingle with each one. Try to have best experience. Try to coordinate with each one. Try to do many things as a group, because in when you step into the industry or any job, first thing you must learn is how to network with everyone, because networking is a great skill. If you are not good in networking with people, it is definitely going to be a backdrop for you. And beyond that, always be positive. Never think of what is going to happen in my final year or how I will be placed. Don't keep on raising these questions in your mind, because these and all I passed through. But why I'm saying this, because I know where I have committed mistake. You can't have all the experience only by having by your own. You have to learn experience from others too. So what you must think is second year to learn how to be thorough with the basics. And one thing that you should always keep in mind is don't do anything for the sake of just doing. If you do things just for the sake of doing, it will never go into your mind. Try to read yourself. Try to understand how good at what skills are you good enough, that where you can conquer. Some people will be very good in technical skills, some people will be good in coordinating, some people are good in networking. So there are many levels, and once you step out of your college, there are many ways for you to go. It is not even core engineering, I'm saying. Even if you are going into IT industry or any industry, the main thing, these and all are primary things which you should keep in mind. And during this study time, try to make use what are the opportunities you get. Try to have more industrial trainings, industry visits. These and all some things will help you have a basic picture what an industry, how it survives, how it works on. This will give you a platform for you to think whether I'm taking me into the right way or not. Maybe that our bell visit that helped me a way for me, that after finally I will go to industry, I will look what it is. So similarly, you have to go on your own and never expect others to come and take from you. You have to be prominent. You should come out of your comfort zone. It is the place where you need to network. And this second year, third year, I would always suggest them to be more networking, because that is what will make you good in every prospect, because everyone will have one positive thing to learn. And if you try to harness from each and everyone, then I think there it would be a good opportunity. And beyond this, technically, you should also be sound in your chemical engineering knowledge. That may help you the final years to easily conquer what you want. Okay. Okay, now what you are, my destiny is still under board of work in progress. Could you throw more light? See, I told me my destination is, since I'm not what I say, I don't believe my destination. I don't think, because your destiny keeps on changing with the dimensions you face, with the situations you face. But I'm a person who always think I should blend with nature. So that's why I kept it is under progress, because I don't know after 5 years in what field I may change, or how I will improve myself. So that's why I kept that title as work under progress. Um, Anna, can you elaborate on opportunities for girls in industry? What mindset girls if they want? Yeah, good question, Matangi. See, now industries perspective have changed. Now recently in my previously where I worked in Birla Carbon, now they are inducting more girls also for the work. Now people's opinion towards work for industries have changed. Now they are also trying to provide opportunities for girls too, but it also requires, and girls should also understand that sometimes it requires huge physical effort too. They must be, if you are hard enough and ready enough to conquer, I think these opportunities will definitely give a call for you. And like one of our junior, I think she spoke before in the meet, she was expressing what are the opportunities there. But still I won't say it is at par with men's in the industry. But now the face of the industries are changing. Now they are trying to give equal opportunity to girls also, for them to come and excel in industries. And there are, I think ITBL is one of the company who is also giving more importance to girls in in professions. And you can see many other public sector companies also, now they are trying to induct people, mainly girls also, for hard jobs. Other than this, I think you need to keep little effort more. That's all. That's all I can say.
So Vidya Shankar, so I think to just add to Madangi's, I think Madhu of 2015, she worked
Mm.
in SPEC,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think now she is your colleague as well. That's in your
Yeah,
team.
yeah, yeah. Madhu, she's working along with me. She's also now. I think I would like to say that myself, Sandeep, also from 2015, and Madhu, we all are working in same department in Rotary Private Engineering Limited. So it
Yeah,
is one of the thing that you that we can say it is beyond boundaries. Now we are here again as an
yeah.
this one.
So there's one question before Madangi's.
Yes,
So
sir.
type you have to continue.
What you think students should do towards collective nature of the department through schema and yeah, I think schema and student chapters, these are really these are really good opportunities for each of you. Everyone will have something. And I think during my college days I didn't take certain things seriously, but in the final year when Naren sir came, he gave us a lot of light on what we have missed. Maybe that I would like to give a valuable suggestion for you. Learn to participate and learn as well as go through those student chapters. This will be very helpful for you. Okay, so any other
Okay.
girls? Okay, yes, sir.
Any other questions? Anybody wants to take? You just wait.
Okay, sir. We'll wait. No issue.
Yeah. So one thing is about many people, many young people have this in mind is if you join a process industries, you have to work night shift. And the night shift will not be 8 hours. It can be like 12 hours, 16 hours. It can be double night shifts or whatever, A and B shift together, or a C and A together, something like that. And the pay compensation compared to that will not match with respect to the non-core. Okay, so I think you can share something on this, that it is not an easier job in process industry. It is tough.
Yeah,
So how to have a mindset for this, because this is your discipline in at the end of the day. Yeah,
yeah.
carry on.
See, industries are usually 24 into 7 working industries. So most of continuous plant, everyone will have shift. It is really hard sometimes to cope up with the time schedules, and it will disturb harmony. But the only thing that you should keep in your mind is that what I have come into it, and what is required for me to develop. See, if you really think that chemical industry, working in a core industry will give satisfaction, then go with it. Because at certain point of time you will feel that more than what you're earning, satisfaction is more important. And having money is also important, but once you gain experience, whatever you lost, you will multiply, you will get the amount which you're going to get in multiplied amount. So never think of at the primary stage, never think of earning much. At the primary stage, just think how much I'm going to learn. If you think what to learn in the primary stage, then you need not stress on the factor of what you are going to earn, because automatically once you are skilled, once you are experienced, everything will come at your hand. And working in night shift, I think I would say it is really tireful. And sometimes when you work for 6 days, your total metabolism will come down. it is natural. And there are many people still they are doing for past 20, 30 years also. It is possible. Some people will be very easy in doing shifts, some people who don't won't like doing shifts. It is upon each person's perspective whether how efficient they are working in shifts or general. But industry mostly works in shifts, and process engineer will always have shift schedules. So there will be without pain there is no gain, right? So you should take this as an opportunity. That's all I can say. And
Uh, yeah, there are questions in the chat.
yes, I'm checking. Is there any health hazard in industry you face? It is common fear for everyone, right? See, today's industry are very tracking health of each employees in more better way. It's not like they don't care, but there will be hazard. There will health hazard. There will be there because we are working. Usually, we are working with chemicals. There will be hazard. But the only thing is there are many precautionary measures, many safety measures that we need to follow in order to overcome that. And today every company takes it very seriously in case of safety measures. And I think now you can see that the amount we are allocating for safety is literally very high. So you can bank on that safety measures because every company has its own safety measures when compared to the hazard it is facing. So I think having fear is of no use because definitely for everything there will be plus or minus. But if you it is upon you what to take in the right way. Do you suggest juniors taking any specific safety goals will keep it? And see, what I would say is taking safety course. That is, whenever you are joining in any company, there will be safety induction for you definitely. So I don't think so. Just taking safety course will give you extra upper hand or add-on value. But it will definitely when you are going for job abroad, they will definitely check for safety courses if you have done anything that will add in value to get jobs abroad very easily.
No, Shankar, I just want to add here,
Hmm.
not maybe taking a clue from the last question, the
Yes,
CV
sir.
value addition. Okay. Uh,
Yes.
uh, I will put it like this way: is it the CV value addition, or in terms of real value addition in oneself with respect to skills and knowledge? I mean,
Okay.
is it that the document, uh, just to build that document, is it something, is the focus, or is the focus should be on towards building oneself into what one cherishes or looks for them in their long career?
Yeah. Sir, what I would say is doing safety course, you should not do just for the value for just having a certificate
not
that.
not not just for safety. I mean,
Hmm.
it's I've taken the clue from the last question. It's not just for safety,
Okay.
because many people, I'm not it's not blaming them, but because of their adolescent nature, every individual tries to do because some X is doing. So
Oh,
I will try to do because Vidya Shankar is doing. Vidya Shankar will do because Naren is doing. Okay, so it's a kind of a ripple effect. But the
okay.
point is, because now you are very seasoned in process industries, so I need to want to your comment on, like, is this because a kind of peer pressure, or is it like to be a focused on what one wants? So I will only learn, be focused on equipping myself with those skill sets, something like that.
Okay. Okay, I would try to give in different dimensions. See, so it is like if a person it depends upon the person what he wants. Some people are very they used to check with everyone's that if you keep on checking with others' performance or others' credibilities or others' score, you will keep on doing things what others do. But unless and until you assess yourself and you think what you need in order to excel on the part what you want to do may change the perspective. And just adding CV value is of no use. I accept that because whenever you learn thing which is really required for you to excel, there is no use having just for the sake of a certificate or this.
Okay, okay. So let us wait for some
Okay, sir.
people to take some questions.
And one thing I think I can tell this guy, tell among the juniors that
Mm-hmm.
I would place a request. I think maybe what
Mm-hmm.
trying to say is, see, we all are chemical engineers, right? current COVID situation. And after this COVID situation, there will be definitely people's thinking towards industries will be different. Now we need to now everyone has to learn to coexist with nature. So now the environment norms for every industry will be very stringent hereafter, since now people are understanding the importance of environment. Now there will be stringent storm towards taking the chemical industry to next stage. So I would ask them to develop more skills, and always try to do more papers on doing any processes, or taking their efficiency to greater level without disturbing the nature. Maybe the perspective what I'm saying is, people's the industries uh, is process process industry thinking of operating it from distance, say from home, using IoT with minimum people in the industry physically. As far as I know, most of the core industries are some of the core industries, they have shut the plant, because it is usually it can't be. I think there are some like batch processes which can be handled through IoT, but most of the chemical plants which run through manpower, it is difficult for them to run without human intervention, because there are many places where humans intervention is very required. Then there, so I don't think so. With minimum, maybe they can reduce the plant's output, but without people's intervention,
So
it's very difficult.
so that means that is what is the next generation
Yeah,
process engineers should think it, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
what is a plant of today is, we are assuming that daily we will be having operators and engineers to be coming in shift in good numbers to take care of the plant. But
yeah,
probably the next generation process engineers should think it that yes, there will be people, but that will be just one or two. Predominantly, plant will run continuously no matter what is the issue, but it is all automated and controllable. It's not just taking the readings. Now we have tools wherein we can monitor. To some extent, there are tools by which you can control the DCS remotely from, say, mobile or system. But as you said, in labor intensive industries or many of the process industries, it's not every operation is IoT connected or controllable for that matter from home. So probably the process engineers of the next generation should think of, it's not a new plant, but how to migrate the existing plant so that it can work distantly from home. Because only when we come with this technology and which we can transfer it to the existing plants, we can go to the next generation. So that's what probably I just want and to add to your previous explanation of what people should think after COVID.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
we should think of a totally a new generation of plants, new way of operating chemical manufacturing chemicals. Anyhow, there's a next question in the chart. You can take that.
Yes. Does that means profile building has no effect on placement? Which one would you recommend? Deep knowledge in single subject, or diversified knowledge but not deep? It is not that having a deep knowledge or diversity. What I mean to say is, see, as a chemical engineer, you must know some concepts in heat transfer, mass transfer, and chemical reaction engineering. These are our core subjects. You must be at least strong enough that basic things that you need to be very thorough with. So that is what I meant to say. And profile building is definitely needed, but the thing is, you will not be having profile building at the start of your career. Profile building will happen as soon as you have experience. Once you have an experience of as a set of 3 or 5 years, then your profile builds. What? Because the first 3 to 5 years, what you have done will provide the path for you for the coming years to do. So profile building happens, but it doesn't happen at the early stage. But for a placement, for you just say what you have done, and towards what you have excelled. That would actually be keen and be to the point, precise, never just blabber. That is what I meant to say. Which one? Which one would you recommend? Deep knowledge in single subject, that I already spoke, I think. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, you can take it.
Yeah, I think I spoke, sir. That it was the last question. I think thereafter.
Okay. Okay. So I think it's already an hour. So if there are any more questions, we'll just wait for a moment, or otherwise we'll just wind up. So, so maybe, yeah, Neeraj, I will like you to speak first. Neeraj,
I
Yeah,
think
sir.
he
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you
Oh,
can summarize your classmate. Yeah, there is one question. I know one question you answered before Naren sir. What is that?
oh,
could you
I
answer one
think it is
question?
Gokul's question, I guess. I don't know.
It is good to.
Gokul,
Sorry,
Gokul's question.
I'm sorry, Gokul. I missed it. Sorry. No, it is. Is it good to switch companies or similar stream? Like in how many years, or what is the driving criteria for shift from one company to another? Okay, this is good question actually. See, once you never have a short span of experience in any company, that actually will make you to that will actually be a black mark. Like, see, people whenever a company is recruiting you, they will at least see how far you are stable at a company, how far you are changing frequencies. And one of the main thing for chemical industries, chemical engineers like for us, it mainly depends upon they gauge us based upon the experience. If you don't have a good number of solid experience like 2 to 3 years at a single stage or a single plant, then they won't consider it as a probable good experience for you. So as long as you wait and excel, I think it will add on value to it. I think I spoke for what Gokul has
Yeah, yeah,
asked.
yeah. Neeraj, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So first to start with, I think the speech was brilliant. I think I mean, rather than just sticking to, just uh, professional side of it, I think you also covered the philosophical side as mentioned in your topic. No, I mean, you heard last year. This was a very serious comment that I'm giving. That I mean, somehow it is required, right? And I don't know. Maybe to be very honest, I didn't have the maturity to listen to all these talks when I was in college. But I think these guys have asked some really good questions. I think you have to give it to all these juniors as well. I think they've made some really good questions there, and I think Shankar answered them brilliantly as well. So yeah, first to start with, I mean, apart from the speech, as far as I've known Shankar, he's like a very what do you say? Someone who's very hardworking and who's very perseverant, and I think that is what has got him to the place he is. And he struggled a lot, not just from. I mean, you guys can think that you know it's easy to talk about the journey, and I think he's not covered like probably the hardships that he had to go through to get wherever he is now. He shouldered a lot of responsibility because I've known him personally as well, so I can vouch that he shouldered a lot of responsibility even personally. So yeah, I mean, he's someone that I've also looked up to in terms of the fact that I did not understand his perspectives when I was in college. Like I probably made, many of us have made fun of the way he used to. Yeah, the way the I mean, basically made fun of his perspective. But I think after we we matured. I think I kind of understood what he meant then. Uh, so yeah, he's a very like a wholesome person and a very good person by heart as well. Plus, I mean, as Naren sir said, I think he said he covered most of Shankar's attributes. He's one of the person who always looks at the positive side of things. I mean, even people, I would say that he's always given the benefit of doubt in a lot of situations, and he knows how to handle stuff. And he was very mature when he was in college. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think Shankar,
Thank you.
you deserve where you are now, and you deserve to go
Thank you.
higher, higher,
Thank,
and only higher.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Neeraj. Yeah, probably I will also ask Ashish. Yeah, Ashish.
Hi, sir. Shankar, it's a terrific uh, session that you're actually done right now. It was very interactive, and the fact that I want to emphasize over here is that so I have attended quite a few of these G meets, and largely it is covered from on points like on what to do on MS if you want to do higher studies abroad, if it's going to be an MS or an MBA, or what are the other skills. But then probably there's a first speech that has been given on why you should stick to a core industry, and why uh, probably setting hopes and deadlines to the people, the students who are aspiring to get into a core industry. The second part of it is I agree to Neeraj. Probably the juniors wouldn't know the entire part of it. Fact is that Shankar has underplayed himself in the entire meeting or in the entire session about the hardships that he has to face. But then one point I would want to end, or what Shankar said in the meeting, which I want to emphasize over here, is that in this field, the field is actually very tough. I have known Shankar and I know the kind of shifts and the hardships that he has to face, even in terms of harsh work hours, the places that he used to work with and all that. But then you age like wine, as they say. Once at this point of time, your the corporate life that many of these companies can give you could lead you a cushy job with decent pay. But then if you strive for it like the way Shankar has done, even though he had opportunities in hand, you will be able to, if you're clear about pursuing a career in chemical engineering, then it is not a bad idea, as probably might have hinted in multiple meetings earlier as well. Thank you, Shankar, for the great talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Just one, Naren,
Yeah,
just,
Neeraj,
just one thing
yeah,
that
yeah.
I want to add. Yeah. So there are always like two paths that you can choose. One is the hard way, the one is the easy way. And I think the instinctive path that a lot of people choose is the easy one, because I mean it makes sense, right? You don't have to like put in a lot of effort, and you get, I mean you just get the low hanging fruit. But if you choose the hard way, I think you can, I mean, you can reach greater heights in life, and I think Shankar is an example of that. That's all. I mean, he had an easy option to choose and then just get it done with. But I think he waited. He knew that this is the fruit that he wanted, and he went for the fruit. That's it.
Yeah, good. So I would also I would also like to add on this.
Yeah. Before just you add, I'll just change the last word of what Neeraj said. That I think he didn't went behind the fruit. The fruit naturally came to him. So he made sure that the success, I would put that he defined the success in his own
Correct.
way. Yeah, Shankar.
As Neeraj said, it is true. See, we need to take some risk in life. That is what everyone tells us. That at certain point of time, even you think the opportunities or the what we say the end result that you are going to get despite choosing that. If you take valuable risk, sometimes it will take you to greater height. That is what even I learned, because I took a large I know at that time when I finished my college, when I took this risk of going into the industry, I know I may face difficulties on, but I think what I did that it didn't allow me to worry thereafter. Now I am at a good, some what to say, a good position that it is giving me some satisfaction. And beyond money, sometimes satisfaction is much more important in a work. And if you try to get satisfaction in this, then I think you will excel in whatever field you are, either it is in core or anything. I think Gokul has asked.
Yeah, Gokul. Yeah, you can answer that.
Yeah, thanks now for taking time to talk about, sir. As usual, brimming with positive.
Okay. So yeah, Gokul, you can come and speak also if you are able to have audio. It will be good. Gokul? Which I don't think.
Also, Shankar's best friend is online. I think you should let him also talk a little bit.
Yeah. I am reserving Abhishek for the end.
Oh, okay. Best for the last.
Best for the last. Right, Gokul. I don't think Gokul is able to speak. Right. So, anybody else from the current students wants to summarize, give a closing remark? Yeah. Whoever wants, can just. Yeah, Akash.
Hello, Anna. It's a huge pleasure to hear a good experienced person talk about their exact difficulty faced in our current life. Now, it's a huge thing. Now you answered our questions with patience. Now that's a thanks for that. Now, actually, it's a you said about that incident from your factory, right? You got your knowledge from that higher authority, and we are getting knowledge from you. Now, it's like. That's the exact thing you wanted, and we got that from you now. It's a thanks for this beautiful opportunity now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So anybody else? Okay. So anyone else wants to speak from the current students? Okay. So otherwise, Abhishek, are you there?
Yes, sir. Hi, Shankar. Hi, Nalin, sir.
Yes, Abhishek. So how is your very close friend, classmate? How is it there?
Yes, definitely, sir. I think Shankar and I, right? So we literally traveled 3 years together. I mean, from starting the second year, when we are roommates, and we also did our projects. I mean, mini project under you for energy auditing, as well as the final year project in Sterlite, right? I think, I mean, those were the kind of memories which I want to cherish with Shankar, because, I mean, the Sterlite was literally an eye opening to me on how the industry works, and I mean, Shankar took that in a positive way, and I mean, I was not particularly fond of that. And one thing which I want to stress upon Shankar is that he is very determined. So he knew the path he wanted to take right from the final year. So I mean, hats off, Shankar. So that is something which I admire in him, because it is not easy. I mean, just to have a good offer in your hand, which pays you a couple of lakhs more compared to the offer which he took in DCW in Toothukudi. So even when he went to DCW, I know the hardships he faced, because I used to generally talk with him once a week, and he used to say like he was in a couple of ships together before they let him off the duty. So I mean, those are the things that I mean the juniors can take from him, because it is not easy to survive in say for core industry or core process industry, because right, it is physically very demanding, and it also takes a toll on your health. So I mean, I think we all need to applaud Shankar for the difficulties he faced starting from the first, and I also knew like his transition from the DCW to the Birla Carbon, and how much happy he was coming back to Chennai and going to the workplace from his home. Then I also knew the I mean his transition to Singapore. So I mean, he's well deserved, sir. Like the place where he's I mean, he deserves all the applause and all the I mean the contributions he made, right? So definitely, Shankar, thanks a lot for. I mean, this I was not able to join the first walk, but the pep talk in the second walk was absolutely brilliant. So I mean,
If this is very nice. If there are no more speakers, I think I can just close. So thank you, Shankar. So I'm very sure now all the juniors who have listened now online and who will eventually see this video will know the kind of goodness or the good-naturedness and the positivity which Vidya Shankar is known for his batchmates and probably for his senior and junior batches then. And now probably all of them have come to know of the kind of positive approach one should have towards pursuing the goal. Thank you, Shankar, for coming and taking part of this JMeet series.
Okay,
And
sir,
thank
just
you.
1 minute.
Yeah,
I just want to just give a request for my juniors. I think we all are at some point of time, we all will be at some good positions. I think we all have responsibilities throughout our life, and we must always think we have some national responsibility also. I think in our country we have ample of resources. I think even if you work abroad or some places or something, at some point of time come and help to grow each other. I think I still remember what you said when we were traveling in a bus in one of our friends' marriage. That is, you should give your what you learned. You should again give back. I think that always pinches me whenever I do anything. I always think that what I have done to my country sometimes. So that is what each and every individual like us maybe think towards it, because we all will have responsibility of our family and social responsibility. But beyond that, we also have nation's responsibility, and we should make sure that we contribute something to our country that we should be proud of. And I think it will also provide them a great satisfaction for them.
Yes, that's really nice, Shankar. And I think there are quite a couple of juniors who are online, but I would wish the numbers can still increase, because Given the numbers of 120 to close to 150, I think many are still not using this GMeet series. Probably only when they talk to their seniors, they will know that this itself is one such contribution that Vidya Shankar is telling, that he is coming back and sharing his life's experience online, and which be a good value to somebody who wants to build now in second, third, and final years. So thanks a lot, Vidya Shankar, and thank you all. We will meet with some other interesting Denchak talk for the next GMeet session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.